It's a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are so.
We welcome you to Busch Stadium in St. Louis. It's game 2 of our 3-game set between the Braves and the Cardinals. Another packed house hopes to see as entertaining a game as we saw last night. The Braves, though, hoping for a different result. They were shut out 1-0. They'll try to get even here in St. Louis tonight. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip, another day, another trade for John Coppolella. This Braves roster ever evolving. Today it was Hunter Cervenka's turn to find a new Major League address.
Yeah, and it's, again, a player that the Braves kind of took off the scrap heap, turned him into a pretty good property, and as an asset, they got a couple of really good prospects in return from the Miami Marlins. Michael Mader came off a good outing his last time out through 7 shutout innings. He was at Class A Jupiter. And Anthony Seymour is a guy that John Coppolella said is automatically the fastest guy in the organization. This guy is a blazer. He led his rookie league in steals last year and has 36 of them this year.
So we'll see those youngsters hopefully progress through the system. With the trade of Cervenka, that means there's a roster spot open, and it comes at a perfect time because the Braves needed a starter. They found one in Gwinnett, formerly known as Fausto Carmona. His name is Roberto Hernandez.
Well, by any name, he's welcome tonight because the Braves have been really shorthanded because of injuries. He's been around, 35 years old, 6'4", 270 pounds, signed as a minor league free agent. Pitched last year for the Houston Astros, 3 starts at Gwinnett, a 5.52 ERA. The Braves are just hoping he can give them some innings and keep them close.
I don't know if anyone can pitch as well as Jaime Garcia did for the Cardinals last night, but Carlos Martinez will try to do that for St. Louis.
He's on a good roll. Last 9 games, he's got a real low ERA. His ERA for the season is below 3. Throws hard, mid-90s. You see some breaking balls here that are locking some people up as well. He's mighty tough. He gets a lot of ground balls. He induces more double plays than anybody in the National League. There are the numbers over the last 9 starts with 46 strikeouts in there. He's mighty tough.
Hopefully the Braves offense will make him have a rough night. They'll try to score their first run of the series. Hopefully one will be enough as Roberto Hernandez and Carlos Martinez hook up in game 2. When we come back, we will continue our discussion about the debate on youth baseball and travel baseball and the injury situation. That and more as we continue from St. Louis.
Baseball has become a much more complex sport than it used to be. Okay, Logan, how we doing, man?
Good, how are you?
You ready to get out of your brace? Mm-hmm. The problem is that we've seen an escalation in youth sports injuries, particularly since year 2000 when I really started tracking it. You can see here he's had an incision where he pulled the bone off when he had open growth plates. And at that stage in your career, you would throw it hard too, I would imagine, huh?
Yes, sir.
How hard were you throwing? What velocity?
85.
85. And he pulled the bone off through the growth plate.
Kids don't pitch anymore. They throw to see how fast and how hard.
The allure of how hard do I throw is bad. I don't use guns. I don't like them. I don't think they have anything to do with whether or not you get somebody out.
Tell me, answer this question for me. Why did you get hurt?
Because I've been pitching since I was 8 years old, throwing 10 innings a week.
There's the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these kids at a very young age are being treated like professional athletes, and their bodies are not mature enough to take that type of workload.
Year-round baseball's horrible. You have to break. You have to allow your body some time to rest. But the problem is they'll rest and then gear it right up for a showcase game, not just to play baseball.
You know, throwing a baseball is not how you get hurt. It's knowing when to throw, the rest you need, and don't overdevelop.
You know, players in the 60s, 50s, 40s, they threw all year long and not many injuries. Latin players throw all year long, not many injuries. But however, you get in some of the situations we do with shutting it down for 3 and 4 months and coming back and kids trying to come back out and throw hard again, that's how you get injured.
We're all trying to protect them from themselves, from overzealous coaches, from their parents. But I don't think there's a perfect way to do that. And to just arbitrarily try to lay it on, they play too much, is not true.
You wish everybody had the common sense to go, this is enough, that's too much, or we need more.
Anybody that would jeopardize a kid to try to win a game in amateur baseball, I don't get. That's really good. That's a great pin.
So as we welcome you back to St. Louis, again, our Driven feature will premiere on Sunday evening at 5:30 Eastern Time. Let's bring in Paul Byrd, who has had Tommy John surgery. Paul, it seems to me the point of this series is to inform, to educate, and I think ultimately with this segment to prevent something that some doctors say is a preventable problem in the sport of baseball.
You're right on, Chip. It's very needed, and let us say this. Travel baseball is a great thing. Everybody that loves baseball should play travel baseball, play against the best, and compete and push yourself. But overtraining is more dangerous than undertraining, and yes, there's a time where you throw too much. I'm in the Tommy John Club. I had Tommy John when I was 32 years old. Now, talking to a good friend who's a Philly scout, making decisions in the draft room, very good friend of mine, he said, Paul, we do studies on it, and the first Tommy John on average now lasts only 7 years. So you don't want to get in that club when you're a teenager or even in your mid to early 20s. You want to prolong that, and the way you prolong that is to take care of your arm, space it out, have a rest, have an off season. I respect everybody that's been on this show. I do disagree with the young man that said pitchers in the 30s, 40s, and 50s pitched all year round, or people in the Dominican Republic throw all year round. That is not true. Guys had significant rest in the off season, and if you need that as a professional from 23 to 33 to 43 years old, then you certainly need it as a 12-year-old or a teenager in general.
Yeah, Paul, you took the words right out of my mouth. The guy that made those comments about 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, yes, whatever the case might be, I mean, that's almost laughable. I don't think he has any idea what he's talking about, kind of loses his credibility. Guys in that era had to go to work in the wintertime. They had to go to the factories and the farms and the hardware stores. Don Sutton told me he was selling baby furniture in the offseason, put food on the table. So they weren't throwing year-round. He didn't have a clue about what he was talking about. What he does have a clue about is he needs those guys to throw year-round so that they can pay his paycheck. The other side of it, I talked to a scout today who's been scouting for 45 years, baseball. And he said that there are many times where he would go watch a guy play another sport in the wintertime, usually basketball, to see how good his agility was, how good his footwork was, and how it might apply to that player in baseball in terms of where he might get drafted. Secondly, he said nothing, zero, nada comes positively from throwing year-round. He said it's not good for arms.
We have some numbers that will show you on what has been termed an epidemic of Tommy John surgery. Remember, the first procedure was performed in 1974 on Tommy John. It was really experimental. But look at the explosion of these injuries by decade. This is just major league level injuries, and these are not only pitchers. And here we are, Joe, in the 2010s, we have 181 Tommy Johns, and this is 2016. So clearly, this is a number that is going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, they might be 300 by the time we get to 2019, 2020. And keep in mind, too, that's not just pitchers, that's position players as well. So it is an epidemic. And for young players, they got to start cutting back and playing other sports and not throwing year-round, especially pitchers.
So the debate continues. Paul, thank you so much for your input. We look forward to seeing our special premiere on Sunday at 5:30 Eastern Time. A second premiere will be at 10 o'clock Eastern Time after the Braves and Cardinals wrap up our series here in St. Louis tomorrow. It's a beautiful night for baseball. A sellout crowd gathering in St. Louis. Cardinals won 1-0 last night. We'll get to first pitch, starting lineups, and Game 2 next.
Low price every day.
Another beautiful baseball night in St. Louis. We welcome you back to Busch Stadium, where the Braves try to even things up. It is a much more comfortable night tonight. It was hot, it was humid last night. It's still a warm evening, a few puffy clouds overhead, but the humidity is down by about 30% from last night. Forecast for sunny skies and more heat from Carlos Martinez, the man on the mound for St. Louis, who's riding a personal 3-game winning streak.
24 years old. He'll be 25 next month. 6 feet 190 out of the Dominican Republic. Has worn the Braves out 6 games. That includes 2 starts, 2-0, 108 ERA, 16 2/3 innings, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts, and as you saw, only 2 runs allowed in that stretch. He throws hard, he's got good breaking stuff, and he gets a lot of ground balls.
Last night, the Braves actually out-hit the Cardinals, but St. Louis got an RBI hit from Jaime Garcia, and that's all they needed to beat Joel De La Cruz 1-0. So enter Inciarte back in the lineup, riding a 16-game hitting streak. Eric Ibar, a 10-gamer. Got to get Freddie Freeman going. Nick Markakis has 10 hits in his last 9 games. He's back in the lineup with a righty on the mound, as is former Cardinal A.J. Przinsky, batting 8th, with Roberto Hernandez ready to make his Braves debut tonight. Ciarte kept his hitting streak alive with a base hit right out of the chute. So let's see if he can do that against Carlos Martinez tonight. And the first of the night is up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. And there's good work. Our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot feature.
16 straight, tied with Cargo for the longest in the National League, and now the longest. Boy, a good thing we got that graphic in.
Whew. So it's 17 games, 1 away from his career high. And Carlos Martinez is going to pick out the flat side of the baseball and go to work against Eric Aybar.
Aybar's got a little streak working of his own. He's average up to 235.
He has 15 hits during his 10-game hitting streak. So I like what Brian Snitker's doing. Get your 2 hottest hitters up in front of Freeman, Kemp, and Markakis and see if you can get some early offense going against this Cardinal club. That's a little low at 95 miles an hour. And Joe, we'll see a lot of 95 plus from Martinez tonight.
Great numbers over his last 10 games. And you want to go back a little farther, back to July 19th. Since then, he's hit almost 400 at 391.
Rolled foul by the Cardinal dugout. It's 2 balls and a strike. That's Mike Matheny, the Cardinals skipper. His club's 7 games over 500. They've run the table so far against the Braves, winning all 4 head-to-head matchups. St. Louis 9.5 games behind the streaking Cubs in the National League Central. And the Cardinals in a flat-footed tie with Miami for the 2nd wild card. Both the Cardinals and Marlins with those 58 and 51 records.
I enjoyed Paul Bird's interview with Mike Matheny and Braves Live. They touched on youth baseball too, and Mike's experience with that. Good stuff.
That's fouled off Yadi Molina. Aybar is still alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Martinez, 24 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. Number 18, a very special number for him. That's in memory of his late teammate Oscar Tavares, who was killed a couple of years ago in an automobile accident. Now the 2-2 pitch is bounced toward short. Funny hop, flip to second, and Aybar beats the rap at first. Slow developing play, but the Cardinals get in Ciarte on the force at second. 1 on, 1 out, and Freddie Freeman the batter.
Well, again, you're going to see, most likely if he's on, you're going to see a lot of ground balls. And the fact that Peralta had to wait for that second hop is what allowed Aybar to get to first.
It's safe to say we need to get this guy going.
Understatement.
No hits in his last 10 at bats for Freddie Freeman. And Brian Snitker is going to challenge a call here. Perhaps Carpenter was off the bag at second base, or perhaps Ciarte beat the play.
Oh, he's never on the bag.
Yep.
Boy, what a good catch there by Buddy Carlisle. His foot was never on the base. At least not with the baseball.
So Jerry Lane is the home plate umpire. And Hunter Wendelstedt's out to talk to Mike Matheny. The entire Cardinal infield is huddled behind the mound. And will this require review? Apparently so. And Matheny's looking left and right, trying to understand what just took place. No, he never had the bag. You're right.
That was the old neighborhood play. Can't do that anymore. Not with the safety rules they put in to try to protect infielders. You got to stay on the bag. That was a real good catch by the guys in the video room.
So here's my question. Why do they have to tell Mike Matheny?
I don't know.
And what is Mike Matheny's objection here?
I don't know.
Maybe it's a courtesy to let him know the play is being challenged, but he could see that without Hunter Wendelstedt. And the crowd here in St. Louis just let out a collective groan when they saw the replay at second base, and that Carpenter was well off the bag. So the Braves are challenging the call, and this will be a big play. Could have 2 on with nobody out with Freeman up if the call is overturned.
That didn't take long.
And he is safe. So that changes the inning dramatically. It's first and second, and now nobody out.
Well done by Buddy Carlisle and Rod Smith. Good pickup.
And that's downstairs for Freddie. 1 ball, no strikes. The ruling on that play at second base is a fielder's choice and an error on Carpenter. And errors have been a big problem for this St. Louis club all year.
Right now for Freddie Freeman, this is one of the few times lately that he's had a good hitter's count. He seems to be behind in the count all the time. It's 2-0.
You might recall last night the Braves had some early opportunities against Jaime Garcia, couldn't cash them in. They've got a great chance now with a 3-0 count. And a 4-pitch walk loads the bases. A hit, fielder's choice, error, and now a walk, and the Braves are in business with Matt Kemp.
And you can't assume that you're going to have a better opportunity than this as the game goes along against this guy. You saw only 7 runs in the first inning in his first 20 starts. He's coming off an outing though against Miami. He got no decision where he walked 4 in 7 innings, and they put 4 runs on the board.
That one in at the knees. Kemp thought it was a little low. No balls at a strike. So far with the Braves, Kemp is 1 for 13 at the plate. He's got a double. He's got an RBI. He struck out 5 of his first 13 at bats in a Braves uni. That's into the seats right side, and it's 1-2. How's the vision for the hitter now? Again, we're starting an hour earlier than last night.
It's a good point. It's the whole infield is in shadows, but the hitter's eye is in sunshine with a light standard shadow on it. Might be a little tough.
Good save by Molina.
Having trouble getting his breaking ball over.
Kemp swings and misses. He's the first out.
He wanted a ground ball, so he came back with a breaking ball. That would have been ball 3. That had never did have the plate.
So there's the first out. Nick Markakis the batter. He's knocked in 4 of his 56 runs against St. Louis pitching this year. Jeff Francoeur started for him last night. Markakis got a pinch hit appearance and was retired. And that raised to corner, strike 1. '96 and fouled away. Just like that, it's 0-2. Braves have the right guy up there. Markakis with 56 RBIs leads the club.
You've got a 95 plus fastball, no matter what the situation, and a good breaking ball like he normally has. You always have a chance to get out of it. And working from the windup. Nick's been great in this spot all year long. They need him to be good again.
Fought that one off. That was the best fastball. 99 and on the hands.
Highest fastball velocity this year. He's 3rd on that list. Those are all starters, as you see. It's based on a minimum number of innings pitched and pitches thrown.
Bouncing ball to second. Little trouble by Carpenter getting it out of his glove, and the Braves cash in a run. Enciarte scores on the force play. Freeman's retired. Markakis at first. He does get the RBI, and the Braves have jumped in front 1-0.
Yeah, he was this close to getting out of it, but right there, Carpenter, when he took the ball out of his glove, almost dropped it and had to pin it against his body. And that gave Nick the time he needed.
This is only Carpenter's 2nd game back since missing a month with an oblique injury. He had 4 minor league games, so he's a little out of sync. The Braves take advantage. Here's Adonis Garcia, 1st and 3rd, and 2 outs.
I asked Adonis before the game if he was all right after his Superman effort last night diving into the stands. He said he was fine.
And that was one of, if not the best catches of any Braves defender all year long yesterday.
No question.
Diving into the stands beyond the Braves dugout to take care of Moss on a pop-up. Crowd in St. Louis gave him a big ovation. The pitch. Breaking ball popped up into the seats. How do you say Superman in Spanish?
There was a nickname for an old player in the minor leagues of the Dodgers. They called him Caliman, El Caliman, Superman. It's pretty much what Adonis did right here. and then threw to second base from the stands. And you can see the Cardinals fans appreciating it.
That's foul to the right side. And it's 1-2. Well, if nothing else, the Braves are making Martinez throw a ton of pitches in this first inning. He'll make his 28th.
Staying alive is just fighting off pitches that are borderline. This guy has a real low batting average in the first inning against him, as you would suspect if he's only given up 7 runs coming into this start. He usually gets off to good starts.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Popped up our way. He's on that pitch. And number 30 is coming up. So far, the biggest play in this inning was the replay challenge. Otherwise, the inning would be over and the Braves would be out of luck. And the 7th pitch for Adonis Garcia is on the way. Bouncer right side. Pitcher covers, and the inning is over. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left, and 1 big video review. That gives Atlanta a 1-0 lead after a half inning. Inning, and say hello to the 14th different man to start a game for the Braves this year. This is well-traveled Roberto Hernandez.
He's a big one. 35 years old, 6'4", 270. Last year with the Astros, he made 11 starts. Went 3-5 with a 4.3 ERA out of the Dominican Republic. Time for his 4 keys to pitching success. Got to admit, this was tough to come up with tonight because we don't know a whole lot about Roberto, but who are you? And can you go 5 or 6 innings tonight and limit the free passes? Last night, that was an issue for Joel De La Cruz. He walked 5 in 5 innings. Hopefully, Roberto can limit those walks tonight.
And his first pitch to Matt Carpenter misses downstairs. Roberto Hernandez, formerly known as Fausto Carmona. You might remember him 9-10 years ago with the Cleveland Indians when he burst on the scene. And had a great year in 2007. He won 19 games that year, finished 4th in the Cy Young Award voting, and beat the Yankees in the playoffs in what was affectionately known as the Bug Game at Progressive Field in Cleveland. He's pitched in the big leagues: Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Philly, Houston, and with the Dodgers. And started the year in the Toronto system, pitched in Buffalo. They released him not once but twice. The Braves scooped him up in mid-July, and here he is in an emergency start. And a 4-pitch walk starts his first inning. Something happened for the Cardinals last night that hasn't happened since 1955. They won a 1-0 game in which their pitcher drove in the only run. That was Jaime Garcia. The rest of their lineup didn't do a darn thing. In fact, the Braves out-hit them, but lost 1-0.
Jaime Garcia and Harvey Haddix, they go together.
Yeah.
He was the last pitcher to do that.
So leadoff walk puts Carpenter at first. Here's Piscotty, the club leader in RBIs with 60, and he had a big cut, didn't get it. I imagine this is a big challenge for A.J. Pierzynski.
Sure it is.
He's not caught Roberto Hernandez. I'm sure he's faced him, but hasn't caught him.
And certainly can relate to him from a veteran standpoint about here's what we need to do. We're going to try to do this or that. His Cardinals hitters gave him a good scouting report. AJ gave him a good scouting report on them.
Fly ball, shallow center. Ender's coming on. He's going to get there. And Hernandez has his first out as a Brave. Carpenter back to first. And Brandon Moss is coming up. Moss with 18 homers. He's knocked in 43.
Talking a lot about youth baseball. How about the team Brandon Moss was on? He's from Monroe, Georgia, lives in Loganville now. The youth baseball team he was on with Jeff Francoeur, Brian McCann, Matt Capps, I think, was on that team. A Team Georgia All-Star team. Pretty good group.
How'd they ever lose? Boy, Jeff made a great throw last night. In fact, it was Moss who got thrown out at the plate.
Right.
A throw that was clocked at 92 miles an hour from right field. Cardinals don't run much. So short lead by Carpenter at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just missed.
Pretty good changeup.
In fact, the Cardinals are dead last in the National League in stolen bases. That is very odd to me. Think about this franchise and its history with Lou Brock and Vince Coleman and Willie McGee. That's not how this edition of the Cardinals are built.
Saw Whitey Herzog here at the ballpark yesterday.
Three balls and a strike. Moss didn't get it. Carpenter started, then stopped, and Moss chased the ball up and out of the strike zone. And Hernandez has his first punch out of the night.
Yeah, I thought for a second that Carpenter was going to try to steal, and that would take him out of some select company as a leadoff man with at least 14 homers and no steals since 1914. Rico Petrocelli, Felix Mantilla, Mike Hargrove, and J.J. Hardy, the most recent to do it back in 2011 with Baltimore.
The game has changed, hasn't it? Matt Holliday pops it up.
Depends on what it is your team needs, you know, and for him, he provides them a tremendous on-base percentage.
Carpenter's on-base mark, 415. And he scored 56 runs in 79 games. That's up and in. Holliday's pushed off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got his attention, certainly.
So while the St. Louis club doesn't steal many bases, they hit a lot of home runs. Cardinals have hit 148 of them. Washington's hit 146. Those are your top 2 power hitting clubs in our league. Matt Holliday has popped 18. Ripped into right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. And Ciarte cuts it off, and the Cardinals have him at the corners, this time with 2 outs. I'd say he answered the brushback pitch pretty effectively.
Yeah, how about it? Brush back and then driving one to right center. That's hanging out over the plate some more. Fastball out away from him too. That helped. Ender got to it quickly to keep Carpenter from scoring from first.
Slowly but surely the Cardinals are starting to get healthy. Johnny Peralta is another infielder they're happy to have back. He's missed a lot of time with thumb ligament problems. Missed 57 games with surgery on the thumb. And then just got back the other day after re-injuring that thumb.
Yeah, had another strain. He had a pinch hit double when he came back, but I don't know that he has started a game. I'll have to double check that. He only came back Tuesday.
So he's in a run scoring spot. First and third for the Cardinals. After Holliday's long single. If he hasn't been starting much, makes perfect sense for Peralta to play tonight. He was teammates with Hernandez as an Indian. So you ought to have a pretty good idea of his stuff. There's a good pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, AJ tried to steal that pitch, and it just missed.
It sure did. That would have done a lot for Roberto's confidence going to the dugout on that call. Just missed.
Swing and a miss. He got Peralta for his second strikeout, and St. Louis strands a pair. After 1, the Braves have jumped in front. on the famous Route 66, and that's the old Chain of Rocks Bridge. Built in 1929 to span the Mississippi River. The uniqueness of that is it actually has a curve in the middle of it. It's not a straight line right across the mighty Mississippi, just south of downtown here. Became a part of Route 66 in 1936 and was used up until 1968 when the opening of toll-free bridges across the Mississippi caused a decrease in traffic, but still one of the most scenic spots here in St. Louis. So we're off to a good start. An hour earlier tonight on Saturday in St. Louis, the Braves scored Ender Inciarte to lead 1-0. Here in the second, Jace Peterson, A.J. Przinsky, and Roberto Hernandez are coming up. Jace hitting .273, 5 homers, 17 knocked in. So far, he's 1 for 7 at the plate against the Cardinals. It's in for a strike. Little tapper toward the mound, and Martinez the play, 1 down. Here's AJ. Before joining the Braves, AJ played with the Cardinals. He hit .244 here in 30 games in 2014.
They liked him here too.
Ground ball to second. Carpenter's got that one. Long throw, and there's the second out. And when AJ was here, he filled a very important need for the Cardinals because Yadier Molina tore the ligament in his right thumb. So Przinsky was a big part of that St. Louis club, even in limited duty. A strike for Hernandez. Martinez starting to get the ball on the ground now. Missed outside, even count.
69 career at-bats for Roberto, 4 hits, 0 sacrifices. Big man with a bat in his hand, though.
He'll take another shot. And a swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the Cardinals' second. Yadier Molina leads off. The Braves lead 1-0.
Seymour is a 6'1", 460 runner. He'll be the fastest runner that we have in the whole Braves organization. We don't have a lot of speed, so we're trying to fill areas of need, and he's somebody who has game-changing speed for us. Michael Mader is a lefty who was taken in the 3rd round in 2014. He just threw 7 shutout innings, and he's done really well. Try and get as many young left-handed pitching prospects as you can and just see what happens, and that's what we're doing here.
And here are the details on the trade that sent Hunter Cervenka to the Marlins. They've been looking for pitching of any sort as they try to solidify their playoff credentials. But Joe, another example for John Coppola and the Braves staff of taking a player who was a castaway and turning him into something that could be of future value in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I thought from that standpoint, and again, it's not just the first time, but Norris was one of similar ilk that the Braves made valuable. And you're right about Miami. They've only had Mike Dunn in the bullpen from the left side for a couple of years, so they needed some help. They get Cervenka, who's been pitching well. Probably a good deal for both sides.
Yadier Molina leads off for St. Louis. Obviously, the Cardinals very interested in that deal because they're tied with Miami for that second wild card.
He's right about the left-handers too. I mean, Braves are stockpiling lefties in the minor leagues.
There's a pretty pitch, 1-2. That's bounced off Brzezinski's gear, and Molina stays alive, still a 1-2 count. Molina broke in with the Cardinals in 2004. The man whose roster spot he took is his manager, Mike Matheny. Knocked down by Hernandez, and he'll get the catcher by a couple of steps. Good play, 1 out.
Good reactions. Good pitch, good sinking action. Might have saved a hit. Been using this word all year long, opportunity. A chance, an opportunity for Roberto Hernandez to get back to the big leagues, have a good outing, see what happens.
Jed Jerko's the Cardinal third baseman, riding an 0-for-11 slide. He's hit 15 homers though, so you have to pitch him carefully. 1 ball, no strikes. Jerko's 27 is signed through 2019 with a club option for 2020. And this one's hit towards second and pegged first in time, 2 outs. And here's Tommy Pham.
Uh-oh. Fedora alert. Somebody else is throwing their hat in the ring.
Strike 1. The Las Vegas, Nevada native, Tommy Pham. Another deep round draft choice by the Cardinals, 16th rounder. Back in 06. And a little chopper toward third. Adonis has it and fires a strike to first. 3 up, 3 down for Roberto Hernandez. 3 ground ball outs. He leads by a run, and the top of his order's coming up. Well, here's Hatgate. This is what happened in between innings. Somebody lost their fedora. Oh, man, and the security guy just...
Huh? What? That is my property now. Huh? He played them all the way.
Right?
And then it was musical hats.
1-0 as we head to the top of the third. Ender Inciarte singled to start the game. Eric Ibar hit a ground ball that was turned into a force play or so we thought, but Matt Carpenter had the old neighborhood play working at second base after the Braves challenged the out call at second as he bangs one to the right side and threw for another hit. Freddie Freeman walked to load the bases, then Nick Markakis bounced into a force play to score the first run. Would have been a double play ball, but Carpenter couldn't get it out of his glove, and Inciarte is 2 for 2.
Breaking ball that was up. Put that on tee for him.
Sometimes you'll talk about guys having hit streaks where they're not real hot. They'll have 9-game hitting streak with 9 hits. Ender's starting to move out of that now with 25 hits in his last 17 games. Ball 1 to Ibar, who's riding a 10-gamer of his own. He's got 15 hits in that stretch. Another great thing about Yadier Molina is if you think of taking liberties on this Cardinal pitching staff, good luck. Since 2005, entering the season, he had caught 231 attempted base stealers. Only Russell Martin had thrown out more than Molina. He's also picked off 46 men dating back to the end of last year.
It's all about quickness too now at this stage of his career. Quick release and very accurate.
One ball, one strike. Inciarte broke, then scrambled back. Throw back to first, and Moss with a swipe tag. It's late. Now he's running, and a bouncing ball up the middle. That's going to sneak through for a hit. And Atlanta's in business, first and third with nobody out. So Ibar's hitting streak is at 11 games.
That was kind of odd. It's like the two middle infielders couldn't figure out who was supposed to cover. And we're kind of looking at each other when the ball bounced in between them.
And you've got two guys that haven't been playing a lot lately. It looks like they haven't played together in a while.
Well, Peralta was coming into cover, but wasn't anywhere near the baseball. Another good start to an inning for the Braves.
Swing and a fly ball hammered center field. Pham going back. That one is long gone. At the top of the berm at the center field batter's eye, a 3-run rocket off the bat of Freddie Freeman.
I recognize that guy. His 19th, and it was a no-doubter. Fastball, center cut. Martinez knew it. He didn't want to look. That was worth looking at because it went so far. Up at the top. Wow.
That is a long way.
Yes, sir.
And Freeman's 19th home run extends the lead to 4-0.
It's only the 10th homer allowed by Martinez.
.448 feet, the tail of the tape on Freeman's homer. And Peralta at short scoops that one up. And Kemp is the first out of the inning. Freddie's first home run since July 27th against the Twins. The other Brave with an RBI is Nick Markakis, his 5th of the year against the Cardinals. Out of play, foul.
Argyle Jenkins tells me from the truck that that's only Freddie's second 3-run homer of the year. Everything else has been solo or 2-run.
So Freddie surpassed his home run total of last season, and in 2014 he had 18 both years. His career high is 23. Got an excellent shot to pass that this year. As Markakis scorches one to first, Moss with a diving stop takes away a double.
Golly, that ball was hit hard. What a play. The Cardinals did not hit on the field today, but they did take a lot of infield practice, and one of them was Moss. Mostly taking ground balls and feeding second base like to start a double play. But still a lot of ground ball work, and that paid off for him there.
And the Cardinals need that. I mean, it's shocking when you look at the defensive totals in the National League that St. Louis has only one team below them in errors, and that's Milwaukee. Cardinals have committed 79 errors this year. The Brewers have made 86. And a little pop to first is in time and on time for Moss and Freddie Freeman. It was home run hitting time. A 3-run shot to straightaway center caps a big 3-run third for Atlanta. Braves 4, Cardinals nothing. Makes it 4-0 Atlanta. The Cardinals are up in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Martinez, Carpenter, and Piscotty.
Nice little cushion for Roberto.
He retired the Redbirds in order on 3 ground ball outs back in inning number 2.
I read somewhere last night that RBI by Garcia, I think it's 19 RBIs now for their pitchers. That's 4 more than they had all last year. You know Wainwright's going to get his.
Yeah. No balls, 2 strikes for Martinez, who grounds one to the shortstop. Ibar's got it. An easy play retires him for the first out. 4 straight groundouts for the man formerly known as Fausto Carmona. You mentioned one of your 4 keys tonight. Who are you? Well, that's a question that people have asked several other big league players because it is all in the name.
Yeah, there have been a few changes along the way. David Arias. Even the pitcher for the Cardinals tonight.
Yeah, he was known as Carlos Matias. Up until the 2011 season.
That sounds like a band leader. Carlos Matias and the
Hanging Sliders.
Yeah. Perfect. Center cut changeups.
Carpenter walked to start the game for St. Louis, and that's outside. 1-1. Hernandez, formerly known as Fausto Carmona. As the pitch is popped up and playable left side, it appears, for Adonis Garcia near the railing, and AJ got there but couldn't come up with it. Krasinski tumbles into the screen near our camera. Everybody's all right. No play to count 2-2.
That extended protective screen saved Carpenter here.
The story of Carmona is pretty well known, but for fans in Atlanta and the Southeast who aren't familiar with his story, he was actually arrested in 2012 when he applied for a visa using a false ID. His real name is Roberto Hernandez, not Fausto Carmona. And it took him a while to get his identity in order, his visa in order. There was a lot of money on the line that was in jeopardy if he had not been able to leave the Dominican Republic. That's hammered down the right field line, and it is, well, foul. The visa requirements and the visa security in the United States obviously increased after the September 11th terror attacks in New York. But someone in the Dominican Republic. Ground ball toward first. Good play, Freeman. He'll take it to the bag for the second out. Reported that Roberto Hernandez was using the Fausto Carmona name, wanted some money in return. Hernandez, nay Carmona, worked with the authorities in the Dominican Republic, with Major League Baseball and its investigative unit. They got it all straightened out, and voila, here he is.
It never pays to try to be someone you're not, Chip. Just don't forget that.
Thanks, Dad. Here's Piscotty. I'm tempted to ask you, what would your alter ego name be?
Already, Jose Simon.
Jose Simon? That's if you go to the Dominican?
Yes. Famous Latin broadcaster Jose Simon.
It's a little low, even count. Piscotty popped up to center. One thing you know about Hernandez, this is not some wild-eyed rookie out there just slinging the baseball. He has an idea of how to pitch. He is keeping the ball on the ground against these Cardinal hitters. 5 straight groundouts. He set down 6 in a row overall. And he just struck out Piscotty for his 3rd punch out in the game. 3 up, 3 down. Shutdown inning for the big right-hander. We go to the 4th.
Is sponsored by Delta Airlines, your local Ford dealer, The Home Depot, and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Well, the fine people here in St. Louis are doing a lot to help out things downtown. That's one of the rooftop bars overlooking the ballpark in the ballpark village. The baseball weekends here in St. Louis are almost sacred civic affairs. They flood the streets downtown. The ballpark's packed to capacity. They love their Cardinals, and they love their downtown. It's coming back, a lot like downtown Cincinnati. And this ballpark, really the core of that urban renewal here in downtown St. Louis.
Well, that was always in the plans when they were building this ballpark. But as you noted last night, this park's now 10 years old. Well, in 06, 07, that was right at the beginnings of the downturn in the market, real estate market, and all that stuff. So Cardinals held off on that for a while. But now that it's up, that is really a nice place over there. Really a nice compliment.
They've got their own version of the Wrigley rooftops. I believe their Fox Sports Midwest studios are right across the street, where they can host their pregame and postgame programming. So a really nice setup, you're right. Meanwhile, Martinez has not been all that impressive tonight.
Last inning after the home run, he was a blur. He was working so fast, like he just getting out of this inning. One out of here.
Slashed out of play. You mentioned the 4 runs he gave up to the Marlins in his last start. last start. That was the first time he'd given up 4 runs in a 10-game stretch. Well, he's given up 4 now in back-to-back outings for the Cardinals. Fly ball center. And Tommy Pham's going to make the play. There's the first out. AJ's retired. Here's Hernandez.
The chance to get his first career sacrifice. I've never seen a pitcher look at the baseball as intently as Martinez does after he gets it back.
There's the bunt, but it's foul. And strike 1.
I don't know what time Roberto got to the ballpark, but when you and I walked over somewhere around 3:30 or so, no one had seen him yet, so his plane might have been a little late getting here.
Well, Lambert Field's known for that, so. No balls and a strike. And fouled again, 0-2. Cubs won again. They beat the A's 4-zip. Dodgers shut out the Red Sox in LA 3-0. Cleveland beat the Yankees 5-2.
Marlins have jumped on the Rockies again. 2-0, still batting in the first.
Marlins got 4 in the 9th inning to win last night after giving up 3 in the 8th. David Phelps started that game. Went 4 1/3 innings. And Hernandez can't get down a bunt. He's the second out. And we head back to the top of the order and a red hot ender in Ciarte, who's 2 for 2 with 2 runs. Broken bat. That's rolled out to Carpenter. He'll pick it up, throw to first in time, and that's the inning. Bottom of the 4th inning. Moss, Holiday, and Peralta coming up. The Braves lead 4-zip.
teammate Faustar Carmona, now known as Roberto Hernandez. I don't care what his name is, the guy could flat out pitch. And let me tell you something, guys. 2007, he's throwing a nasty sinker. Cliff Lee's hurt. We need a spot starter. He comes in the game. We can't get him to calm down. One of our teammates figures out that if we give him 3 to 4 pieces of gum and he chews away, he can relax enough to throw strikes. The rest is history. One of our best starters that year, finished 3rd or 4th in the Cy Young. And one of his really good friends, Johnny Peralta, also known as Johnny Picks on our club, our shortstop that year with the Indians. Big strikeout of Johnny in the first. And I can tell you guys, it feels really good when you strike out your friend. Back to you.
I'll bet it does, Paul. Did you guys have like a Cleveland Indians reunion before the game?
Well, we did. I ran into the clubhouse and he's pitching. So the rule is you don't mess with the starting pitcher. But he looked up, saw me, and gave me a big hug.
Base hit to right by Brandon Moss to start the Cardinals' 4th as Hernandez goes through the lineup for the 2nd time now. Second Cardinal leadoff man of the game is aboard. Here's Matt Holliday, who got brushed off the plate and then grooved a single into right center.
The thing I like so far, Paul, is after walking the first batter of the ball game on 4 pitches, he's been throwing strikes. He may have been to 1 3-ball count since then, but he's getting them to swing the bat and put it in play with good results.
I agree with you, and that is the key to him, is strikes. His stuff is always good, even though the velocities come down a little bit. It's just a question of getting ahead of the hitters.
Saw Hernandez in the stretch for the first time since the first inning. And Matt Holliday digs in. And a bouncing ball slowly hit toward Adonis. There'll be 1 play. And it's to first, runner at second, 1 out.
I like that. I like that play. He knows that the runner at the plate was a slow runner and that he might have a chance to still get a double play, but he took the sure out. Got a nice lead. Got to make sure you get 1, and that was a smart play by Adonis.
So Peralta struck out his first time. Batting .218 now for the year. One ball, no strikes. To Johnny Peralta. And no, we did not misspell his first name. You see his graphic pop up. It is spelled Jhonny.
Maybe we've been mispronouncing it.
Lord knows that's a probability.
Yeah.
However,
I mean,
Johnny, well, I like that. Maybe that's his alternate name. But that's how it was put on his birth certificate. His original birth certificate was misspelled, and that's how it was recorded for all time. And so his family stuck with it. And as an executive producer once told us years and years ago, Johnny Peralta, Johnny Peralta, Johnny Peralta. Make sure you spell this guy's name right. He's had a good career, good player.
Yeah, when you get the kind of production you get from him at shortstop with a lot of power. Solid guy to have on your team.
Cleveland, Detroit, and St. Louis, his big league stops. And your point about the production, 5 years of 20 or more homers as a shortstop.
This Cardinals team hitting with runners in scoring position has been outstanding this year too. We talked about that last night, leading the major leagues hitting with runners in scoring position. It's real good with less than 2 outs. Is even better with 2 outs. But again, Peralta hasn't been playing.
And Johnny Peralta is our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard.
And the Cardinals at 291. 3 American League teams, and then the Rockies tied with the Rangers.
Didn't realize this until I read it. Johnny Peralta hit 21 homers in his first year with the Cardinals as a shortstop. That's a franchise record for their shortstops.
Is it really?
And there's an even more impressive note. He led their team in home runs in 2014. The first Cardinal shortstop to lead their team in homers since 1899. When a man named Bobby Wallace did that. And he probably had 2.
Yeah, probably both inside the Parkers.
Right.
Inside the city limits.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Molina waits on deck. Here it comes. Nice play at third base.
Jose Oquendo still missing in action over there. He had some knee surgery at the beginning of the year. Maloney moved from first to third. Bill Miller, good hitter in his career, now the coach at first.
Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Peralta does his magic with runners in scoring position again. The Cardinals are on the board. It's now a 4-1 game.
Hernandez won the first battle. Peralta wins this one. That one just didn't sink enough and hit hard enough that Ibar couldn't knock it down.
So A.J. Pierzynski throws that obviously defective baseball out of play. And Yadier Molina's coming up. He hit a hot smash up the middle that Hernandez flagged down, and on the ricochet picked it back up and threw on to first for the first out of the second inning. 4-1 now is the lead. Cardinals batting in the 4th. Runner goes, and that one got Maloney at third.
I'm not sure what Chris is trying to prove over there, but those are a little too hot to handle.
One ball, 1 strike. We have a great pitching matchup on tap tomorrow afternoon when we wrap up this series. Mike Foltynewicz for the Braves, Adam Wainwright for St. Louis. One and two now.
Another good off-speed pitch. Mostly sinkers and change-ups. A few breaking balls, but not many outs from the breaking balls, mostly from the change-up.
Roberto's gotten a lot of ground ball outs tonight. He'd love another ground ball at someone right here.
All that perspiration just pouring off the bill of his cap.
2-2. Rolled foul.
Got a good motion, a good delivery on his changeup that's very deceptive, making it hard for the Cardinals hitters to stay back, especially when they have 2 strikes on them.
Molina, one of the tough guys in the league to strike out, hitting almost 260 this year with 2 strikes. And almost 9.5 plate appearances per strikeout. He's fought off a couple of tough pitches, now faces another one. And he rips it down the right field line. Fair ball. That's headed for the corner. Peralta around second, on his way to third. He is going to be stopped. Yadier Molina has a 1-out double, and the Cardinals have a big rally. Second and third, 1 in and 1 out.
That was a really good at bat, and then finally got something out away from him that he could drive the other way behind in the count and kept it fair.
'25th double for Molina. Now Jerko's the batter. He grounded out to second in his lone appearance and has an 0 for 12 collar working.
Yeah, he's hit a dry spell too after just tearing up his old team that you talked about the other night, last night against the Padres. But still a tough out here.
And he was swinging for the fences, fouled it away. Strike 1. Braves bullpen begins to work. To right. Markakis is there, sets up. Runner at third. Peralta will tag and score without a play. Jerko with a sacrifice fly brings the Cardinals a run closer.
Got an out. Damage control. Needs 1 more out and walk away. Pham and then the pitcher. So let's see if the Braves pitch to Pham. Like they will. They'll give the appearance of it.
Right there for a strike. Two runs on 3 hits for the Cardinals in the 4th. One and one.
I'm surprised Roberto can even grip the baseball the way he is sweating.
You saw during the Molina at bat, he was wiping his hand on his pants, his jersey, getting some dirt, trying to find a dry spot.
I tell you, he can make that baseball look mighty small in his hand, can't he?
Two balls and a strike.
There's that gum that Wahlberg was talking about too. Good pitch. Couldn't get him to offer. Again, the pitcher on deck. He's had a pretty good season with the bat, but still the pitcher and a base open.
That is a major league pitch. When you can throw that, as Tom Glavine has said, in a 3-1 count or a 3-0 count, you can do a lot of good things on a major league mound. And now he's a strike away from ending the inning.
Yeah, and doesn't have to give in here either.
Check swing. And Pham still alive. Fouled at the plate. Four runs, 4 hits for the Braves, 2 runs, 4 hits for the Cardinals. A costly error led to the first run of the game for the Braves. Freddie Freeman hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd. Roberto Hernandez debuting for Atlanta tonight. He's given up his first runs of the game here in the 4th. Pham popped that up. Will it stay in play for Ibar or Garcia? It'll be Ibar on the warning track. He makes the play, and that retires the side. 2 runs, 3 hits for St. Louis. We're off to the 5th. Who gets into the postseason and who doesn't. They're trying to help wreck the Cardinals season, as you see there, neck and neck with the Marlins in the hunt for the 2nd National League wild card.
Braves still have a lot of games left with the Marlins, with the Mets, who are 2 games back. So you're right. They could have a big say in it.
The Cardinals also have 10 games left with the Cubs head-to-head, so they have not eliminated the possibility of coming back to win the Central. The advantage for St. Louis, I would imagine, in the wild card race is they have a lot of games with Milwaukee. They have a lot of games left with Cincinnati, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are having, for them, a down year as well. So it's all there for the taking for Mike Matheny's club. It's going to be a 2-month sprint for St. Louis. And first order of business, I would imagine, is play better at home. That's been a big disappointment this year. Redbirds at 26-30 here at Busch Stadium after winning 55 games on this field last year.
Starts with pitching and defense. They've got to catch the ball better. They're at the bottom of the league in defense, and they've got to do a better job of that. Freddie broke out of it in a big way with a big 3-run homer in the 3rd inning.
We've been coming here for 10 years. That's the longest home run I've seen hit here.
I think so.
Line drive toward left, and that's going to get down for a hit. That is a great sign. Might be the first ball Freddie's hit the other way in about a week, if not longer. So he's got 2 hits. He's been on base 3 times. And Matt Kemp is coming up.
Well, as fast as Freddie can get into some of those strikeout binges, he can come out of it too and get on a real run.
Matt Kemp 0 for 2. And fouls that one off.
That's having some good swings. He's just not squaring anything up. He's right on that pitch.
That was off the plate. It's 1-2. Matt's retired on strikes for the 2nd time. That's 4 for Martinez. And MARKAKIS hits with a man at first.
Nick robbed by that great play by Moss his last time up on a rocket near the first base line. Be nice to see him pull another one through the hole and put him at 1st and 3rd.
One ball, no strikes. That one's in for a strike. The Giants are beating Steven Strasburg tonight, 3-0 in Washington. Nationals won 5-1 yesterday. Pitch lined out of play. We'll see the Nationals at the end of this road trip. Washington had to place Ryan Zimmerman on the disabled list. Wrist problems. Happened today.
Well, they took care of business against the Braves early. They won the first 6 played between the 2 ball clubs that were only about 3 days apart.
Yeah. One ball, 2 strikes. It's a different looking Nationals club, though. Rendon is back and playing well. Bryce Harper isn't hitting all that well. Last I checked, he's in the 250s or so with his batting average. That's not at all like Bryce Harper. One ball, 2 strikes. Shot to right field. Another hit for MARKAKIS. Freeman will stop at 2nd. And Nick's aboard. 2 on, 2 out.
Good piece of hitting again by Nick. He's 11 for his last 33. And with respect to that Washington team, Rendon, Espinosa, and Ramos. Boy, are the three guys that have been doing enough. Of course, Daniel Murphy, too.
Yeah.
Those four guys have really done the damage.
And Trey Turner's come up, not playing shortstop, but he's been playing center field a lot for Dusty Baker, and he can flat out fly, we're told. So we're talking about that when we join you from Washington after our series here in St. Louis and Milwaukee, where we head next.
High atop Nationals Park.
Yes. Figures to be a series of pitchers duels with all the hot air blowing in from the Capitol. That one's cut on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Martinez is set to lead off the 5th for St. Louis. And fouled away.
Speaking of hot air, your dad always said that when we went to Washington, he loved driving by the U.S. Treasury just to see his money.
Huh. I want to go by the Treasury. I could hear him now, can't you?
Yep.
The 1-2 is on the way, and that moved him off the plate. Garcia needs a moment. Markakis and Freeman, the Braves runners at 1st and 2nd. The pitch. Good battle. Adonis very quietly is hit safely in 20 of his last 24 games with a .358 average. That's the 3rd highest average in the game in that stretch. And he just crushed that one to deep right. That ball is gone into the Cardinal bullpen. That was not quietly hit.
No, and that was a laser. Martinez still in a catcher's squat on the mound. 2 3-run homers. Huge tonight for Atlanta. Great at bat, fouled off a lot of pitches, and a lot like Molina, he got a pitch up and out over the plate. You can see Molina was set up away, but it came down the middle and launched.
And 3 or 4 foul balls by Garcia kept the at bat alive until he got a pitch to drive, and he didn't miss it. And for the 2nd time this year, the Braves have scored 7 runs off the Cardinals.
And he's going to go into warp speed windup here.
7-2 Atlanta in the 5th. And that caught a corner to freeze Jace Peterson. But Atlanta gets a big 3-run opposite field homer by Adonis Garcia. It comes with 2 outs. The Cardinal crowd is silent. 380 feet to straightaway right, and Atlanta leads St. Louis 7-2. All right, Kelsey, thank you very much. That has turned into a great rivalry. And while at least I miss going to Houston, setting up the Rangers in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston and the Astros, that is a Lone Star shootout in the AL West. As Colton Wong rips one deep toward right and into the Cardinal bullpen. A pinch hit home run for Colton Wong. And that has been a big specialty for the St. Louis club all year. They hit a ton of pinch hit homers against the Braves in Atlanta. And Wong takes the grand tour to cut into the Braves lead, now 7-3.
That's 12 pinch hit homers for St. Louis. They hit 3 in one game against the Braves.
Wow.
Pinch hit homers. That's 36 RBIs. Wow.
So the bad news is Hernandez gives up his third run. The good news is Martinez is out of the game for St. Louis. A very disappointing start for the Cardinal right-hander. He gave up 7 runs. He struck out 5. 2 mammoth home runs. A couple of walks. And for Roberto Hernandez, he has to get through this inning to qualify for the victory. Seth Maness begins to loosen. Fly ball left. Kemp will drift back and headed for the corner. Has room. 1 out. Here's Piscotty. No balls at a strike for the Cardinal outfielder. He's 0 for 2. Hernandez trying to chase down his 71st big league win. His last was last July 3rd against the Red Sox when he pitched with the Astros. They designated him for assignment on July 30th and then outright released him August 8th.
Well, I read you that note before the game that really got my attention. He has pitched 2 games in his career against the Cardinals, but none in 10 years.
Swing and a miss. Piscotty chased a ball in the dirt. And he strikes out for the second time. That's 4 strikeouts. And after the homer, 2 quick men retire.
Now, take this for what it's worth, but I think what we're watching tonight is what we don't see with a lot of these young pitchers. He's got a lead, so he's making them swing the bat. He gave up the homer. He didn't panic. He all of a sudden start throwing ball 1, ball 2, ball 4, pitching away from contact. He's got a nice lead. He's a veteran. He knows how to pitch with a lead, and he's trying to make the Cardinals swing the bat, and you got to like that.
As we look ahead to next year, would you agree that with the state of the Braves rotation, even with Julio Teheran healthy, that this staff needs a veteran presence?
Absolutely.
With guys with similar experience as Roberto Hernandez?
Absolutely.
A stabilizing force who you know can take the ball 32 times and give you 6 innings every 5th day. He's got a lot of mileage out of men like Derek Lowe. Aaron Harang comes to mind immediately. There have been others, of course.
Good examples.
Two balls and a strike for Brandon Moss, the Cardinal first baseman. Didn't get that. He's to a knee with an even count.
Back-to-back change-ups.
Little pop. Long run Adonis. He's going to get there and make the play. What a series for Adonis Garcia.
He wasn't quite sure where he was, if he was getting close to the fence. That's why he went to the grass. But he knew he was closing in on it. Terrific play.
Roberto Hernandez in line for the win as he enjoys a big lead after 5. Five, and this game got off to a great start for Atlanta in the very first inning, and I think this play might have unsettled Carlos Martinez.
Leadoff single to extend the hitting streak for Ender, but watch the footwork here by Carpenter. He was off the bag on that toss from Peralta. Up on further review, safe. Braves eventually loaded the bases, and with one out, Cardinals unable to turn this double play. Run scores. Braves were on the board. Got 3 in the third, 3 in the fifth on home runs by Freddie and Adonis.
First time the Braves have had 2 3-run homers in a game since July 30th of 2013.
Really?
Against the Colorado Rockies. Freddie Freeman had one of them. Brian McCann had the other. And a shot to first. Moss, another good play. And Seth Maness greeted with an excellent effort by his first baseman. Maness in relief of Martinez. He's made a couple of good plays at first tonight.
And both of them saved doubles. Heck of a play. Well, Hernandez is going to hit for himself. Good.
Moss is probably saying, well, if Adonis Garcia is going to rob me twice in this series, I better do some work with the glove myself. And a swing and a miss.
Boy, he just missed it.
Maness has done a nice job. 8 straight appearances without allowing a run. He's had some right elbow problems. That was back in May.
If he'd throw his mole pitch up there, Roberto with his whack-a-mole move that he's got working might get one. There.
Man, this guy's got a short arm delivery, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Got a good arm too.
Swing and a miss. Hernandez has 3 strikeouts, and he had something to say to YADIER MOLINA, like, thank you for getting that over with.
Yeah.
First strikeout for the Cardinal reliever. Back to the top and into Inciarte. Cardinals pen this year, 16 wins, a 3.39 ERA, 13 blown saves. They've allowed 34 home runs. Bullpen's a little shorthanded with Trevor Rosenthal. And I think it's safe to say that when folks evaluate this Cardinal pen, it has been inconsistent. Little roller. Jimenez has it. His flip to first is a shot put delivery, but it takes care of Inciarte and the Braves in order in inning number 6. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Cardinals. Atlanta enjoys a 4-run lead. It's Thursday, August 18th. The first 20,000 fans through the gates at Turner Field will get this one-of-a-kind souvenir. Get your Andrew Jones The Catch bobblehead at Braves.com/tickets. Excuse me. Cough button didn't work. Dadgummit. Here's Matt Holliday. Just a tick or two past 8 o'clock Central Time. Joe Simpson, Paul Bird, Chip Carey with you from St. Louis, where the Braves have played long ball with the Cardinals. Freddie Freeman and Adonis Garcia have hit 3-run homers. Carlos Martinez started for the Redbirds. He was riding a 3-game win streak. He did not pitch well. 7 runs in 5 innings. But the story is that man, Roberto Hernandez, making his Atlanta debut. He's given up 3 runs on 5 hits to St. Louis. And he's trying to win a game in the big leagues for the first time since last July 4th.
Well, I got to say, Chip, I mean, he's exceeded my expectations. Came up with a 5.5 ERA, 0-2 at Gwinnett, 4.60 ERA for the year pitching in AAA. He's had a good outing.
Matt Holliday's 1 for 2 with a single in the first inning. He bounced out to third his last time up. And Brian Snitker knows the story too. He wants to get as much as he can out of Hernandez, but he doesn't want to take any chances either.
Well, and you see too, he's at 92 pitches. Get through this inning. What a bonus that would be. Ford Keys, how long can you go? Who are you? Well, he's proven who he is tonight and reminded people, and only one walk, and that was the 4-pitch walk to the first batter.
And do you know how to pitch? I mean, that's evident as well. He's mixed his stuff very, very effectively. 4 strikeouts for him. As that one skips up, it's a full count. Up the middle and through. Holiday has a 2-hit game. So there's some thunder in the middle of this Cardinal lineup, and that might be the last pitch that Hernandez throws in the game, as Brian Snitker, the pride of Macon, Illinois, just 2 hours east of St. Louis, makes his way to the center of the diamond. The long and winding Major League road brings Roberto Hernandez to St. Louis, and in his emergency start, he pitched a great ball game against the Cardinals tonight. He'll leave with a 4-run lead.
Manager Brian Snitker, as you said, Chip, grew up close to here in Illinois. Early 70s, they had a Hoosiers kind of baseball team that finished second in the state tournament. Their head coach, Lynn Sweet, was his inspiration to go into coaching. And I gotta say, guys, starting with the Braves in the late 70s, finally getting his chance to manage this year, come back to the Busch Stadium here in St. Louis. A lot of his teammates and Lynn Sweet at the game tonight, and they said, Brian, we all want to sit together. Can you make that happen for us? He said, unfortunately, guys, you'll have to go to StubHub. So the game's changed a little bit. Tickets a little harder to come by nowadays. But everybody here at the game having a blast. Back to you guys.
Especially in this ballpark.
So Hernandez is out of the game for Atlanta. Jose Ramirez comes on to pitch. Johnny Peralta, the first man he'll face at 7-3, and that one is taken low. 1 ball, no strikes.
And the key for Jose is throwing strikes. He is not allowed a run in his last 5 outings, and that includes last night against St. Louis, 2/3 of an inning, a walk, zeros across otherwise. Just don't put anybody on base.
That one all the way to the backstop, and no chance for A.J. Pierzynski as Holiday takes second. That's a wild pitch.
It's a big league wild pitch.
Yeah. AJ with a slap of the glove. And the fans here start the wave. Another big crowd. They had 42,000 last night. Too high. 3-0 for Johnny Peralta. Defensive swing, and Peralta fouled it away.
94. He can rush it up there. Just a matter of throwing strikes.
Drilled to center, but right at Inciarte. Peralta lines out, one away. And here's Yadier Molina, who doubled his last trip.
The story about Molina this spring that resonated with me. I don't remember who the pitcher was for the Cardinals that was going to pitch against the Braves at Disney's Wide World of Sports. But Molina wanted to catch him. And it may have been Martinez. I don't remember. But Yadi had not been cleared to hit. He had still had a problem with his thumb. He made the trip from Jupiter to Orlando. What's that, 2.5 hours one way?
Depending on how you drive, yes.
Is it farther than that?
That's about right.
About right.
2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah. And he caught the game, but was told he couldn't swing. So he would go to the plate, stand there, watch, take. But he made that effort to make sure he caught whoever it was without getting to hit.
So you talk about one of the unquestioned leaders of this Cardinal team.
There you go.
Drilled to right. Markakis retreats, makes the play. Tagging at second, heading to third is Holiday. There are 2 outs. Well, they've had some great catchers here in St. Louis. We talked about this last night. Ted Simmons certainly one of them. Molina's already passed Ted Simmons for the most games caught in his career here in St. Louis with the Cardinals. Mike Matheny knows all about that. He was a Gold Glove catcher until concussions virtually ended his career.
About Joe Torre.
Tim McCarver.
Yeah.
I mean, Bob Uecker, who made fun of himself but was an excellent catcher in his days here. Joe Garagiola.
He had a guy here that was MVP in the World Series, I think. Darryl Porter.
Yep. Early 80s for St. Louis. 1 ball, no strikes for Jed Jerko. Big run for the Cardinals at third base. Big run for the Braves to prevent. It's Matt Holliday at third. 2 outs in a 7-3 game. Jerko's knocked in a run with a sac fly. One more note on Molina. He does have another year on his contract. There is a mutual option for the 2018 season. With the shortage of catching in the major leagues, I wonder if Molina would opt out and test the market in 17 or after 17.
I would be shocked. I would truly be shocked. He's a Cardinal, and I think the best thing is that he retire a Cardinal, and they'll probably make sure that happens.
Well, whenever he retires, They're going to have to clear space on that big wall under the scoreboard for his number 4. As Ramirez issues a walk to keep the inning alive for St. Louis. Jerko's aboard. And Tommy Pham's coming up. Remember, Colton Wong is on deck. He came in the flip-flop batting order when Maness came on to pitch the top of this 6th.
Again, if you want to let this team back in it that leads the league in home runs, just keep putting guys on base.
And with 2 outs, nobody out, 1 out, runners in scoring position. Everybody on this Cardinal team can hit. Ball 1 high. Pham entered play tonight with a 3-game hitting streak, 5 for 10. One of those hits, though, a homer. He's hit 8 so far this year. Holiday belongs to Hernandez. Jerko belongs to Ramirez. Those are the Cardinal runners in a 2-0 pitch. All bets are off now for Tommy Pham. 3 balls and a strike. And the Cardinals have loaded the bases on back-to-back walks with 2 out and 2 hard hit balls. And that's going to be it for Ramirez.
That's 8 walks he's issued in 7 innings.
So Brian Snitker will go to his bullpen. 3rd pitcher of the inning coming on for the Braves. It's a 7-3 score in St. Louis.
Sports and outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Fans follow Braves baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet.
The key here for Ian Kroll is that he's retired 10 of the last 11 batters he's faced, and lefties are only hitting .229 against him for the year. 224, excuse me. Good numbers. He'll throw strikes and hopefully get out of this jam.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Colton Wong has a pinch hit homer already. And that's off the plate. Ball one. You can't defend the base on balls. Harmless start to the inning, a base hit, then 2 lineouts, but back-to-back walks by Ramirez as the Cardinals thinking comeback.
Yeah, brought the tying run to the plate.
Ripped out of play, a strike. Wong's home run traveled 401 feet. If he reaches, the pitcher's spot is scheduled. Looks like Matt Adams has grabbed a bat. He's the on-deck hitter. Up and out of the zone. Wong tipped it. 1-2.
Good heater though, 95. Head in the count, see if he'll expand his zone a little bit.
He tried. But as you say, far enough.
Yeah. You hate to get to a spot 3-2 where you got to throw a fastball, but I still would like something other than the fastball here.
Popped up. Garcia long run. Still going, still going. It's a foul ball. If that had dropped, 3 would have scored. Luckily, it was in foul territory.
Now, when you get that big a lead at first base, 2 outs, crack of the bat, high pop up, it drops fair. You got a chance to come all the way around. And Pham at first can run. So that was a fastball. Let's see if they try a slider. Another heater. 96. Thinking here maybe that he hasn't gotten around on his fastball yet. Why speed up his bat? And that's smart thinking on AJ's part.
The 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball right side, and the throw to first is in time. And Ian Kroll pitching before friends and family. He's from Hinsdale, Illinois. He strands 3 Cardinals and preserves a big lead for Atlanta after 6. Made Here feature brought to you by Synovus, the bank of here. It's Braves shortstop Eric Ibarts.
How about these numbers since the All-Star break? Raised his average from 209 to 235. Be nice to get some more add-on runs.
So he's been on fire, as has been Ender Inciarte. And the Braves bullpen has been putting out fires all month. Counting their inning tonight, the Braves relief corps has given up 1 earned run in 14 1/3 innings. And that was a big frame there for Kroll. Bouncing ball to the shortstop. Peralta has it, 1 out. Big night for Freddie Freeman, who had really struggled to make contact. Not so tonight. This blast our Toyota key play.
He was 0 for 10 with 8 strikeouts coming into the game. Hit this one to the top of the berm in the 3rd inning. He's walked, homered, and singled.
They measured that 448 feet. Now we've seen balls get hit off that mercy sign and right. We saw that on a highlight last night. We've seen Big Mac go into the 2nd deck down the left field line, or the 3rd deck actually. But as I said at the time, that might be the longest home run I've seen in the 10 years of this ballpark. It was crushed. And as good as it was to see Freddie hit it over the boards, for me, I'm happier he had a hit to left in his next at bat.
Yeah, great sign.
And he's walked again, so Freeman's starting to see the ball well. He's on base for a 4th time. 1 on, 1 out for Matt Kemp. Detroit's beating the Mets tonight again, 6-3. Look out for the Tigers. They're playing great since the break. Told you Cleveland beat the Yankees, so Detroit tries to keep pace in the Central. Marlins lead the Rockies 3-2 in the 5th. Texas 2-1 over Houston in the 7th. One ball, 1 strike. Bouncing ball to short. Peralta to 2nd, 1. The turn. Beauty. Wow, what a double play. Peralta to Wong to Moss. And the top of the order coming up for the Cardinals after the stretch. Sunday, August 21st, with a catered buffet featuring some of the newest Braves food creations and a Bloody Mary and mimosa bar. Go to Braves.com/brunch and get your spot at this terrific event. I guarantee you, if Tom Glavine is working, he will have worked out some sort of arrangement to have brunch delivered to his seat in our broadcast booth on the 21st.
Yeah, that would mean he's working.
Yeah.
So that's
good point.
That's the first hurdle.
That's a very good point. But he might come to work just for the brunch.
No
You never
question.
know. As Greg Garcia is going to come on and pinch hit for Maness. He'll work 2 scoreless innings with a strikeout and a walk for the Cardinals. 1, 2, and 3 on the lineup card for St. Louis. 7-3 is your score. And a bounding ball right to Freeman at first. 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll work.
Bet it will. See if that'll happen again.
Tough night for Piscotty. He's popped out and struck out twice.
He's 1 for 7 in the series. Makes him 4 for his last 35.
Didn't they just send Randall Grichuk down to the minor leagues?
They did.
He had a similar streak working.
That's true.
Yeah, that was on August 2nd. So that's been a revolving door for Mike Matheny at times. As that one's launched into the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brandon Kniff is loosening. Ian Kroll was throwing hard tonight.
He's had a couple of days rest. Like you said, he's got a few folks here. So that always kind of charges everybody up a little bit when you have some friends and family here watching.
Atlanta led 1-0 after 1, 4-0 after 3. As Garcia handles cleanly. Well, he is picking everything at third base. 2 outs.
Playing great baseball. And I even like it when he gets a wild hair and takes off to third base and nobody's looking.
The old surprise party, huh?
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe the key is send everybody down to Gwinnett, teach them how to play left field, and they'll come back to the major leagues, play their normal position, and the rest will be history.
Don't put them in left.
Put them out there. That's the story for Garcia this year. A very pleasant return for him after a disappointing offensive start. And that's the real frustrating thing, I think, for the Braves. You write the epitaph of 2016. For the first 6 weeks, Nick Markakis was the only guy really swinging the bat well at all. Brandon Moss didn't get it. He's 1 for 3. Garcia's robbed him another time tonight. Remember, it was Moss that hit the pop-up that Garcia grabbed while diving into the stands. Tonight he made a sliding catch in foul ground after a long run to end the St. Louis 5th. And 3 pitches takes care of him. Ian Kroll has faced 4 hitters and he's retired them all. Atlanta in command after 7. Well, Fox Sports South is the home of the Braves, and tomorrow join us back here in St. Louis. We wrap up the series with the Cardinals. Coverage starts at 1:30 Eastern on Fox Sports South and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. It's going to be a treat. Crafty veteran versus up-and-coming flamethrower Mike Foltynewicz versus Adam Wainwright. And if this score holds, the series victory will be on the line tomorrow afternoon.
That's right. I can't wait to watch either. Foltynewicz gets a little better every time out. Learns a little more each time. Here's a crafty veteran, Zach Duke. He's been around. Cardinals just traded for him at the deadline. Been in a lot of games already. Odd that his numbers are better against right-handers. Got a good changeup.
Cardinals got him from the White Sox. 7 straight scoreless appearances. 2 of those have come in a St. Louis uniform. And led the American League in appearances with 53 at the time of the trade. He fouls Seth Maness, who fired a 9th consecutive scoreless appearance. And Duke missed to Nick Markakis, leading off the 8th. Ripped into center field, a base hit.
Yowza. Boy, Nick's hit the ball hard tonight. 2 hits to show for it. Could easily have had 3 were it not for the good play of Moss at first base. Really got his hands inside that pitch beautifully from the lefty.
Well, here's the unsung hero of the series, I think, Adonis Garcia. A 380-foot 3-run homer. The decisive blow against Carlos Martinez, who surrendered 7 runs in his 5 innings.
Opposite field into the Cardinal bullpen. After a lengthy battle with Martinez, fouling off a lot of pitches.
And now 3 balls, no strikes. And Adonis walks, and Duke has added to the Cardinals' woes, a hit and a walk to start the inning.
It's hard to walk Adonis.
Yeah, that's a good point. Garcia, 15 walks now in 324 plate appearances. Ball 1. Duke's in the game because of all the lefties the Braves have coming up. Peterson's the next, AJ to follow, then the pitcher's spot. One-0 count.
Duke's throwing, his arm angle is low 3/4, sometimes even sidearm it. That's not where he used to be, but when he started working exclusively out of the bullpen, he started coming up with some of that, made him a little more effective, a little more movement on his sinker, a little tougher on left-handers on the breaking ball.
He's having trouble throwing a strike. Just 2 of them among his first 10 pitches. That one found the mark. Sarcastic cheer from the Cardinal faithful. All bets off now. 3-1 the count. Braves Live presented by Xfinity. We'll follow game 2 from St. Louis. Huge crowd tonight, 45,468 on a beautiful Saturday night. And now Yadier Molina wants to talk it over. Missed the big news today. Atlanta traded Hunter Cervenka to the Miami Marlins for Anthony Seymour, a shortstop, and Michael Mader, a young left-handed pitcher. Both of those players were in A-ball.
One a former third-round pick, and the other and considered the 8th best prospect in the Miami organization.
Full count pitch. John Cobalella, in his pregame comments with Paul Bird, said that Seymour, the shortstop, already becomes the fastest player in the Braves organization. For a Braves organization that doesn't have a lot of speed, but does have a guy named Malik Smith. Can't wait to see him run. 3-2. Is a called third strike. Peterson gave up on that pitch and is rung up by Jerry Lane. There's the first out. And a nice rally by Duke, who was behind 3-0.
Big old curveball. Box Trax has it in the zone. Pretty good pitch, 3-2.
A.J. Brzezinski's 0 for 3. Moss robbed him last time. A nice play to his left. And a bouncing ball to third. Jerko to second for 1. And the flip to first is in time, and Duke pitches into and out of trouble in the 8th inning. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. It's 7-3 after 7.5. Very much. Yeah, the Marlins are happy to accept any help they can get from the Braves tonight. Again, they're deadlocked with the Cardinals for the wild card spot in the National League. And Giancarlo Stanton in Denver, 500 feet. Well, that's almost like a miss for him. He can hit it off the end of the bat 500 feet. So we'll follow that score as we wrap things up tonight in Game 2 in St. Louis. Mauricio Cabrera's now going to face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Cardinals.
This will be his 3rd outing in 4 days. He's been outstanding. scout I talked to today that has seen, by his admission, by his count, over 5,000 major league games, said he saw something last night he had never seen before. And that was a pitch thrown 102 miles an hour.
And then when you can throw a ball 102 miles an hour and throw that pitch that he just threw to Matt Holliday, you might be looking at the evolution of something pretty special in this Braves bullpen. Ripped into center, though, on an 0-2 pitch. Went to it once too often, and Holliday was all over it.
Yeah, that may have been the breaking ball. The changeup is usually around 92. The breaking ball is around 85, 86, and that was a hanging breaking ball. You can see AJ's head kind of fall off like
So Holliday got a gift, didn't miss it. He's got 3 singles tonight. And here's Peralta. The thing to me that's been impressive about Cabrera is after his first couple of starts, he's been able to throw that fastball 101, 102, but he's commanded it. He's thrown his changeup, as you said, and he really hasn't hung many of those breaking balls. The hit by Holliday here being an exception.
Only 2 walks in his last 7 outings, and those were in separate games.
So the point I'm trying to make is he's not out there just heaving the baseball. He is pitching. He just has the God-given ability to throw the ball with triple digits with great consistency. One count. Ooh, that skipped up there. 2 balls and a strike.
Nice stop by AJ. If he doesn't have to worry about the base runner, Holliday's not going anywhere. He's got a real short lead. They don't run anyway. They need a big inning.
Line drive right field, base hit. Nice piece of hitting by Peralta. And the Cardinals now have 2 on and nobody out.
That was a good piece of hitting. That pitch out away from him where he could just drop the barrel on it, take it the other way. And a big powerful hitter is going to pinch hit.
He's going to pinch hit for Yadier Molina. Matt Adams is that pinch hitter. .12 home runs for Adams. They already have 1 pitch hit homer tonight. We do not want to see another one. Adams at .251 for the year. He does have 2 pinch hit homers and 8 pinch hit RBIs this year. Rocketed to right. That's going to get up against the fence. Holliday will score. Peralta on his way to third. He will stop. 3 straight Cardinal hits. It's a 7-4 game, and now the tying run is coming to the plate.
Started with that 0-2 hanging breaking ball. It may have put a little dent in Cabrera's confidence. That fastball let her high. Give Adams credit. He was able to get to it.
We heard Bobby Cox say it once. We heard him say it 1,000,000 times. Big league hitters can time a jet.
Yep.
And Adams didn't miss that. Pinch hit double. And now Jed Jerko's coming up. He's
got a sac fly and an RBI already. 2 on, 1 in, and nobody out. No swing. Ball 1.
It was 102 again away from him. Needs to try to come in a little bit, tie him up. Infield willing to give up another run for an out. They'd do that twice.
The lead is 3-2 Cardinals aboard. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fly ball toward left center. Inciarte streaks in. He makes the catch. There will be no advance. What a throw. Jerko flies out. 1 man down. And Tommy Pham will be the hitter.
Ender Inciarte makes no apologies for calling people off the ball because he has full confidence in his ability to throw. Last night was an exception where Francoeur wouldn't let him have it when he threw out Moss.
Second and third, 1 out now. 7-4 game. I know it sounds contradictory because if you just pump fastball after fastball, you're helping the hitters. But it almost feels like as hard as he throws, you're doing him a favor by not throwing that gas.
No question. Especially the right-handers. Yes, he did.
Did he? Yep. Stu Surewater, the first base umpire. Now it's 1-2.
Stu seems sure. He's very emphatic about it.
Broken bat. And that ball was whistled right over the top of the Cardinal dugout. And that injured a fan sitting in the 3rd row. The barrel of the bat snapped in half and ended up between the mound and third base. And the crowd immediately called for medical assistance. Play will continue while that fan's attended to behind the Cardinal dugout. And this becomes a very precarious situation with the ball in play. Two and two. Up and in. Full count.
That will definitely get his attention. Just don't walk him. Make him swing the bat here. Just missed his elbow. His changeup has been an outstanding secondary pitch. It might be a good time for it.
Three-two. Bouncing ball towards second. Nice diving stop. Peterson. Throw to first is in time. A run is in. And the Cardinals are going to challenge the call at first. A great play by Jace Peterson to keep that ball on the infield and prevent a third Cardinal run from scoring in this inning. Safe or out at first will be the question. There's no question that Peralta is home with another run.
Hard to tell from that angle. Jace couldn't get his feet under him. He made the good stop, but he couldn't get his feet under him to get a good throw off.
For now, that's a 4-3 ground out. The run scores courtesy of Peralta. Adams moves to third on the play. There are 2 outs in the inning, and we'll see if the call is upheld.
I don't see enough there to overturn it unless Freddie's foot was off the bag.
Fans are looking at the center field scoreboard, and the angle we just showed you is tough because the foot of Freeman and the foot of the base runner Pham, you can't see Pham's foot when the glove grabs the baseball. So the old "is there enough evidence to change the call" is the big question here.
This is the angle that's probably the best. Is it enough to overturn it? Great pick by Freddie, by the way.
So this is one where you don't mind New York taking its sweet time to come up with the answer.
No, it's almost like the longer they take, the more you figure they're not going to overturn it.
So 2 runs across for the Cardinals in the 8th inning. Pham will get an RBI. The question is, will he get an infield hit? Colton Wong will be the next St. Louis hitter in what's now a 7-5 game. Two very different kinds of games in the first 2 games of this series. Last night a 1-0 nail biter. Tonight a 7-5 game that's turning into a nail biter late. Braves had a 6 make it 7-2 lead after 4.5 innings. Cardinals scored a single run in the 5th, 2 more here in the 8th inning. And the verdict is in. The runner is out. The call stands at first. And almost certainly there's not enough evidence to change it. It was that close. That's why that call on the field is so very important. And Jace Peterson with a diving play gets 1 out and saves 1 run on that play. So 2 outs. Colton Wong is the batter. Adams the runner at third base. 7-5 game.
Out or safe. You're right. Good play by Jace to save that 2nd run. What would be the 3rd run of the inning.
Blistering fastball in for a strike. Let's not give him a cheap run. Anything in the dirt, hopefully AJ can knock it down. Adams a lumbering runner at third base. Just like that, 0-2.
There's that change up, that off-speed pitch.
Swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. The Cardinals got 3 consecutive hits, 2 runs, and they didn't like the replay decision that cost him an out. The Braves happy to take advantage as we go to the 9th.
Baseball is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers, Let's Go Places, and the Georgia Lottery.
Good ball game in St. Louis, 7-5 Atlanta. As we head to the fateful 9th inning, it's time for tonight's Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light.
This has been a tough place for the Braves to get on the scoreboard until tonight. Last 10 games, averaged a little over 2 runs a game, 5 long ones tonight. 7-2, 2 3-run jacks, one by Freeman, one by Garcia.
There's a whole host of changes for the Cardinals. First of all, behind the plate, YADIER Molina had to leave with a right hand contusion, so a new battery for St. Louis. It starts with Jonathan Broxton. Alberto Rosario's the catcher. We'll give you the other changes in a second. Chase Darno is the Atlanta pinch hitter for Cabrera as we get started here in the 9th inning. Broxton with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, quickly ahead 0-2.
Throws hard, always has. Great big guy. He's a Georgia man.
The defensive changes for the Cardinals. Rosario behind the plate. Matt Adams at first. As Darno shoots one into right center field for a pinch hit single. Brandon Moss has moved from first to right field. He's the man that handled that base hit by Chase. Piscotty moves to center. Again, Yadi Molina pinch hit for in the 8th inning, left with a hand contusion. That would be a big loss for the Cardinals.
And they're hoping it's not the thumb.
Ender Inciarte's had a good night. He extended his hitting streak to 17 games with a first inning single. He scored 2. Runner goes, and Rosario can't pull the trigger. Stolen base for Darno. Remember, the Cardinals had Brian Pena brought in to be Yadier Molina's backup, but Pena's had injury problems, knee issues to be exact. In fact, he had surgery on his left knee, and it's been giving him trouble all year long. They have gone through catcher after catcher here in St. Louis. Now let's see if Inciarte lays down a bunt. An insurance run would be nice. He showed it and took a ball. Swing and a drive, deep right field. That ball is gone.
Well, Coors Light Cold Hard Facts just got a little colder for the old Cardinals. I mean to tell you, that was a short, sweet swing. Beautiful. Watch how quick. Balanced. Just got the barrel there. Ender knew it. His second. And what a big blow in the ninth.
9-5 now, Atlanta. And for a lot of the Cardinal faithful, it's the ender of the night. They're headed for the exits. And this Cardinal pen, which has been inconsistent, was good until the ninth, with Broxton serving up a long home run for Ender Inciarte. The Braves have hit 3 homers tonight.
I'm really enjoying watching Inciarte play. I hope everybody else is.
His homer, 388 feet. It's the 4th 3-homer game for the Braves this year. All of them have come on the road. Freeman, Garcia, and Inciarte with long homers. One ball, 2 strikes. And Ibar's down swinging. There's the first out. What I love about this top of the ninth is it looked like momentum, ever so late in the game, was swinging toward the Cardinal dugout. They had that 2-run rally, and you could just feel the air in this place just go flat when that ruling was upheld. They outcalled it first, and then to have Ender hit the home run to start the inning just almost crushes these Cardinal fans. Very quiet place right now. Big night for Freddie Freeman. He's reached base 4 times, 2 walks, the homer to center, and a 5th inning single. Another shot by Freeman. This one down the right field line, but foul.
Those fans down there, those guys glad they stayed.
Joe mentioned, playing in Busch Stadium 3 has not been fun for the Braves. They're 13-21 here all time. But Freeman is having himself a great night. Maybe a good sign for the start of this road trip. Braves first baseman with 3 solid hits in the game, and he's reached base all 5 times.
Jump on board. The Freddie train is back in action. Got the foot down quickly. Single to left, single up the middle, homer to right, homer to center, I should say.
Matt Kemp a swing and a miss, 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts and a double play. There's a shot deep to left off the bat of Kemp. That one's belted. That one is off the wall. And that one is gone. A home run for Kemp. His first homer as a Brave. And Atlanta pouring it on in the 9th inning. 4 runs across.
Five home runs here in their previous 10 games. They've hit 4 tonight. A hanging slider. Matt shows you how strong he is there. Kind of had to reach for it a little bit and still hooked it into the, well, not quite into the seats, but off that wall, that recessed wall.
So the Braves with a 4-homer game tonight in St. Louis. I'm going to give you some names. Last time that happened. 2006. Chipper Jones. Andrew Jones hit 2. Brian McCann and Adam LaRoche all went deep here.
What year?
06. First year.
Wow.
Last time the Braves won a series in St. Louis was 2012. Looks like they're going to have a chance to do that tomorrow. Foltynewicz versus Wainwright.
You know, when you said that and mentioned Andrew, something struck me that he hit a ball kind of at the base of that light tower out in left field, way above the bullpen.
The Braves pen?
Yes.
A shot toward the left center field gap by Markakis. And the Braves are punishing Jonathan Broxton in the 9th inning. That's 5 hits in the inning. And Mike Matheny doesn't want to, but he's going to have to go get the Georgia native, who was greeted very rudely by Atlanta tonight. A big home run hitting game for the Braves. Freeman a 3-run shot. Garcia a 3-run shot. Kemp and NCRT in the 9th. It's 11-5.
playing there, it actually gave you a little bit of a platform.
If we can get a guy from East Cobb, we know they've played against the top competition in the country. That means they've played in our backyard, and they're Braves guys.
So tomorrow we wrap up Driven, the youth baseball debate. Brian Jordan and Paul Bird share their firsthand knowledge about the opportunities participating in travel baseball can bring. Plus, we'll preview tomorrow's premiere of Driven Travel Baseball, Chasing the Dream, our show that takes an even deeper look at travel baseball. Don't miss the youth baseball debate tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern during Braves Live pregame, only on Fox Sports South and streaming on Fox Sports Go.
Only the third game for Jerome Williams this year. 5 innings. He's given up some runs. He gave up 3 unearned runs in one of his outings.
An offensive explosion for Atlanta tonight, 11-5. 7 of those runs came against Carlos Martinez. The rest of them have come against Jonathan Broxton.
Yeah, but especially after the Cardinals had gotten within 2. Big 9th inning, still going.
Another bullet off a Braves bat. Garcia hammers one into the left field corner. And MARKAKIS glides into third base. ADONIS Garcia has a homer and a double now. And the Braves, with 6 hits in this 9th inning, have 14 in the game.
Stay hot, Adonis. He's doing it with the glove. He's doing it with the bat. He went down and got a breaking ball.
Infield in for St. Louis, Jace Peterson, the hitter. He's the 8th man to bat. Pittsburgh won tonight, beat the Reds 5-3. Cubs won 4-0 over Oakland. Marlins losing in Colorado 9-3 to the Rockies. Little tapper hit toward third. Jerko olayed it and couldn't come up with it. An error on the Cardinal third baseman. And his 6th of the season. And that continues the inning for A.J. Przinsky.
Flipped there off the web of the glove, but didn't come up cleanly, and then juggled it. Chance for AJ to add to his RBI total. He doesn't have a hit tonight.
He and Jace, the only Braves regular players without one. Every Brave has reached base once tonight, except for AJ. Let's see if he can change that. In the 9th inning, the Braves have poured it on. Ender Inciarte with a 2-run homer. Matt Kemp with a 2-run blast. 6 Braves hits so far. Grounder toward first. Adams is coming home. There's one. And that's all the Cardinals will get. So MARKAKIS is forced at the plate. And Chase Darno, who began the inning as a pinch hitter, gets to swing the bat again. Don't see that too often. He was mad the first time up because they mispronounced his name.
Again.
Chase D. Arnaud.
Like a terminal for a battery.
They got it right this time, though. And swinging strike.
Happened with the Dodgers one time. Boog Powell pinch hit leading off an inning, made an out. Headed back up to the clubhouse. Thought his night was over.
That's down the left field line. That might stay fair. That ball is a fair ball. 2 runs are going to score. What in the world happened to Holiday on that play?
He gave up on it. He either thought it was going to be in the seats or a foul ball. He didn't even go over to have a look. Have an inning, Chase. See, he's pulling up here. He's just jogging over. Uh-oh. Fair, what?
I mean, another 2 feet. That's a grand slam.
I know.
At the base of the pole. Unbelievable. 6 runs in the 9th.
Anyway, Boog's up in the clubhouse. Team bats around. They're saying, wait a minute. Who's on deck? Who's supposed to be on deck? Who let off? He said, Boog did. Where is he? He's in the clubhouse. that boy went running up to tell him. He already had his shirt off. I said, Boog, you're up. Oh, tell him, hang on, buddy. I'll be right there. 9th guy made an out, ended the inning.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Braves are doing to the Cardinals what the Cardinals did to Atlanta in Atlanta in Game 3 of that series when they scored 5 in the 9th to take a 12-6 lead at that time. At that point,
well, for Jonathan Broxton, this is one of those outings that's an absolute ERA killer. 4 runs. In 1/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 2 of them homers. And a sharply hit ball to second. Wong bobbled it. Bud makes the play, and that retires the side. The Braves send 11 men to the plate, and boy, did they shillelagh the Cardinals. Inciarte a homer, Kemp a homer, Chase Darno 2 hits. He came on as a pinch hitter and added 2 RBIs. All Atlanta in Game 2 with 3 more outs to get.
Braves baseball is sponsored by Synovus, the bank of here. And Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
What a night for the Atlanta offense. 6 runs in the 9th inning. In a game started by Roberto Hernandez. He gave up 3 runs in his 5 innings. He's in line to win it. Eric O'Flaherty will tune up against the Redbirds here in the 9th. At the top of the order coming up.
Eric's had about a week off. His last outing against the Phillies, an inning, gave up a couple of runs. Just needs to finish it off.
He'll start with Jeremy Hazelbaker, the pride of Muncie, Indiana. And a quick strike. 13 runs, 15 hits for Atlanta. 5 runs, 9 hits for the Cardinals.
And 4 homers.
Matt Kemp has his first as a Brave. And a shot to right field by Hazelbaker. What a find he's been for St. Louis. Here's Piscotty. He struck out twice in 4 trips. And another base hit. This one roped to center. It's almost like the hitters are saying tonight, well, we might as well get this out of our system tonight, because with Wainwright and Fultonevich tomorrow, hits might be tough to come by.
That's right. Again, Eric hasn't been out there in a week, and both those pitches were up. There's Adam.
Ball 1. Moss has a hit in 4 tries. He scored 1 of the Cardinal runs. Off the top of the screen and into what's left of this Cardinal crowd. 2-1. Don't know if it's coincidence or not, but Braves are piling up runs in bunches since Matt Kemp has put on a Braves uniform. 13 runs tonight. Toss out the 1-0 game last night because Garcia was so good. 5 against the Pirates, 8 against the Pirates. They scored 3 and lost in the first game to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's a good run.
So 29 runs in 5 games. Two balls, 2 strikes for Moss. And he didn't get it. Eric O'Flaherty has his first out of the inning, 1 down. Tori Kelly will join us at Turner Field on August 20th for a free post-game concert on Saturday, part of the Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines Summer Concert Series. Get your tickets today at Braves.com. Field passes are available as well. Log on to Braves.com/Tori Kelly, T-O-R-I Kelly today.
You know who she looks like? Just dawned on me.
Who?
She looks like a young Angie Dickinson.
Really?
Yeah. Actress.
Bouncing ball to short. Second one. First two. And that's your ball game.
You know what that looked like to me? Money.
Money?
Yeah. Way go.
Way go. What a way go it was for the Atlanta Braves. They scored 13 times. They hit 4 home runs, including Matt Kemp's first as a Brave. And how about Roberto Hernandez, his first big league win since last 4th of July. He was an emergency starter. And it's the Cardinals looking for an IV with D5W. 13-5 is your final. We'll recap it right after this.